Okay, it's 5:30. We're going to mix up the agenda a little bit. I'm going to try to stay on task. We have a lot to cover tonight. My name's Kirsten Bourgeois. I'm chair of this SEP Executive Committee, and we're going to jump right into it with Tim Smith from FCIDC. He was supposed to have spoken a little later in the agenda, but I know he has a pressing engagement he wants to get to. So we're just going to jump in, and Tim?
We're not even going to meet anybody else. We're just going to focus on you.
We can. I'm sorry. Does everybody know? Most everybody knows Tim. Do you want to do a quick?
Yeah, with me is Drina Boyer in my office as well. We'll be touching.
Susie? Let's just do a quick.
Susie Kelleher, Beautification Village Trustee.
Joel Clark, Treasurer of SEP.
Marie Fry talking about Hudak Farm this evening.
I'm Kirsten Bourgeois.
Molly Lambert.
Nick Brusso on the Swanton Select Board and Historical Society Europe.
Don Collins, small business owner, Village of Swanton.
Julie Regenball, Superintendent.
Nicole Draper, Executive Director of Swanton Recreation, as well as Town of Swanton Select Board member.
I'm Target Customer.
I'm Julia. I'm Emily.
Hi guys. Welcome.
It's my entourage.
You're going to introduce them on the as part of the agenda, Nicole.
Elaine Nestor, Swanton Chamber, and Missisquoi Valley School District member.
Nice to meet you.
Michelle Desatel, Swanton Branch Manager, People's Trust Company.
Brian Savage, Swanton Town Administrator.
Tim Smith, Director of Franklin County Industrial Development Corporation.
Take it away, FCIDC.
The pressing engagement is I'm trying to get to the BFA basketball game. So that's,
Well, that is important.
Yes.
Oh, it's a big one, too. Yeah.
So we're going to try to get there in time, but I had a call with Nicole a week or two ago talking about a grant that we received, which is called the GROW Grant, which is offered by the state of Vermont. And basically, they're looking for entities to manage this GROW Grant to try to recruit folks to Vermont and to different regions, basically, because if you watch the news, you understand that our student population is dropping, our population is getting older, we have less taxpayers, we're trying to grow the economy and whatnot. So we applied for it. The grant is over a 2-year period, and basically Trina will pass around. This is just a cover page of our website that we'll be starting. We are naming it True Franklin, which then elaborates on each town within the county. So we will have a link to each town in the county, so that when the recruitment process and marketing of Vermont, people can go to this website and click on it and then go to different areas. And what we do is we will be available to answer questions. People may say, what's available for recreation? What are the school systems like? Is there health care? What's the quality of health care? So we will work through those questions with entities. Throughout the state, there's already been probably 8 or 10 of these already in place. We're a little late to the party.
Thank you.
So we're just starting. Drina's going to handle it. We're working on the website now. Part of the process too is one thing we'll be looking for from the different communities is if you know of people who move to the community, let Drina know, and then we'll do. We hope to do receptions where people can come and get to know people like Julie, the school, and different businesses, so that they feel more comfortable and they get to know people. So that'll be one part of it. So that's and so Nicole was working on the Swanton website. And so this sort of ran right into that with the two connecting, and then Molly and I as spoken about your next meeting, so we just wanted to come to present this. Very early stages, and we hope to get it off the ground. We'll be having a table set up as well as at the home show. But I'll let Rita talk about what she's done to get to this point. We will be looking, Nicole, for pictures for Swanton, and as with every town in the county. So that for those who may not be familiar, there's 17 towns in Franklin County, and we'll be having links to every town in hopes that we generate some inquiries. I don't want to build up too much. We doubt we will get 100 families to move here. It's going to be a growing process. There will be a lot of questioning. You know, we've already been dealing with one family. They asked about education. They asked about recreation, and then the job aspects as well. So we know it's going to be a slow process, but having connections with people like Nicole and working through the pages in each town will be helpful. So great to see that.
So the site is up and running, the QR code is active, so you can check out that website now. Through that website, I would encourage you all to have a look at it, and if you're interested, there's a part in there where we're looking for local stories, like how do you live in Franklin County? What does your life look like there? And that's always interesting to get that insight when you're looking to a new area. A lot of it is going to just grow. It's going to grow quickly, I'm sure, because people have such random questions, and we're trying to be helpful and honest to people that are currently living here but new neighbors, so they've been here for less than 2 years, but also people that haven't been here yet that were remote workers and they just want to live where they want to live now. So typically a county, for example, that has been doing it for a few years here in Vermont had 177 leads through this site. 25 of them were active when we met in December, and they relocated a total of 7 families. So they don't come pouring in, but it's another tool. And we're having some business card handouts made. We'll hand those out at the home show, for example, where the QR code is on there, and we can hand them out and say, if you have new neighbors, anybody that's lived here within 2 years, then we'd like to welcome them and help answer any questions, make them feel comfortable here. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get enough interest that it will make sense for us to do some mixers where there's some newcomers as well as people that are interested in moving to the area. And then obviously we post that in different towns in the county.
So how are people going to find this?
So our grant is through the Vermont Department of Tourism and Marketing, and they have like the Vermont Tourism webpage, and it will say interested in moving here. Click on that, and then on the map you can point to Franklin County, and there those leads will go to me. Besides that, we're doing it on our own by going to the home show. We hope to set up at the farmers markets and just have like a standing poster basically with a QR code, so people will recognize that as kind of the welcome, well, there is a welcome wagon, but kind of the welcome wagon for Franklin County.
Wow.
Would you consider existing businesses having some of those cards in place?
Yes, so we have some, we're making up some tent cards also, so if people want to put them in the window or point of sale, we can certainly encourage
Restaurants,
that.
tables.
Yeah, restaurants,
That's great.
yeah, there's a lot left to do. I just started working on it in January, and we have to do it, like, I have to keep it within my work hours, so, I don't have a ton of time.
Right.
But I've had a lot of help from the web designer, so it's just a matter of getting the marketing pieces out there.
I think, I don't know if folks around the table are like me, but I'm very naive as to how many people actually move to the county. And whatever circle I travel in, we don't we don't interact or we don't run into folks that recently moved here. I always use Drina as an example. She lives on a road in St. Albans Town with 10 homes, 12 homes. Someone from Boston moved there, someone from Kansas, 2 people from the United Kingdom. So just out of 12 homes, there's 5 different families that have moved here over the last 2 or 3 years that I never came in contact or never met. So I think we would be surprised at how many people, and so we're trying to drill down and find new residents and then make them feel welcome. The reception is just, or mixer, is just one thing we're focused on. The other one is just getting the information out there, answering questions, being present within the different communities. So that's what we're looking at.
We do hope eventually it will have maybe some current job postings or at least links to some hiring businesses. There's so much we could do with this. There really is. It can take links for sure.
We've already had inquiries about, can we post, well, Kirsten, you were the one that asked about posting jobs, and I think we're gonna get to that eventually, so that when they click on that, they will see what's available.
How big a presence in Franklin County is Beta looking to be? I know they purchased the old Union Carbide building, right?
They're leasing it.
They're leasing it, okay. But between the growth in the Burlington area and here, I would think they would be a good source to get
Yeah, for sure.
get the information and talk
And
to
we
them.
do have one of our, the FCIDC board member, is an employee at Beta,
Okay.
so we use her a lot for information and getting the word out. So we will continue to, and she's been a great resource for us to get access to Beta, and it's really worked out well.
Excellent.
Any more questions for Tim and Drina? This is exciting.
Let me know how I can help.
Go ahead.
I don't know if this is a question. Tim knows me pretty well, so I'm sure he'll take it in the way it's intended. Having been a school administrator for many years, school board member, and have a number of friends that are realtors, I would suggest if this is a statewide initiative, that somebody from the governor's office or the governor might say, come to Vermont, we have very good schools. Because we do have good schools. And I know the district we have is making amazing progress over the last 5 years. And I can tell you, when I was a superintendent of schools, probably 5, 6 or more times a year, a realtor would call me and say, I have a family coming from Massachusetts, New Jersey, and they want to know about the schools. Now, I can't tell you that what I told those people led them to come, but they did come to Fairfax and Georgia a number of times because they wanted good schools. So,
Yeah, you're right. So one of the active inquiries we have right now did ask specifically about schooling. It's one of the-
and I can
one of our
volunteer
questions.
Julie, she'll give you all the good information.
John, I failed to mention the real estate aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to know what the housing costs are and all that.
Right.
So we will connect them with realtors from throughout the county to answer their questions and whatnot. How we narrow that down, we're not sure how we do that yet. But housing's one for sure, and those seem to be the 2 big questions. What's the housing like and what's the education like?
Thank you.
So you're really a catalyst for these conversations. You're not going to say, go to Marie for this, or Kirsten for that, or Molly for that. It's, here's the information. You decide how you want to pursue it, because
And we're looking for, what's the word on, we're looking for advocates also. that might have, like,
Ambassadors,
moved here
yeah.
Over the last 2 years that say, here's a family that recently had an experience moving here, and they would be, we're hoping we will recruit them. They will be willing to be that,
Ambassador.
what's that?
ambassador.
Ambassador, that's the word, thank you, Molly.
Molly's been an ambassador for years.
So that's what we're hoping for.
Great.
Excellent. And you're welcome back at any time to provide updates, or I guess we encourage anybody to reach out to Tim if they have any ideas, questions, so that's okay.
And I think it's gonna be really important to work with Nicole, who's putting the
Yeah, no,
stuff together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds like that connection's been made.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, right?
I'm on it, Molly, don't worry.
Yeah.
Can I don't know if this is close
Okay.
or not, but I might be breaking hip a lot, but I saw you at the hospital, right, this morning?
Yes.
Yeah. Small world.
Love it.
You have no idea. Anything else for Tim and Drina? You should have plenty of time to get to Burlington and find parking.
No
Oh, it's only-
speeding.
Oh, I thought it was 10 to 6, it's only 10 to 5.
No. Oh, it's 10 to 6.
The village hasn't
Yeah,
None
sprung
allowed.
ahead yet.
Bill has to get on a chair to move that, and we've been trying to tell him it's not safe, and
You leave it like that for a while, we
ladder.
get used to it.
Kirsten, thanks for moving this up, appreciate that.
No problem, nice to meet you.
And I'm sure we will be back regularly.
Sure, that's great. Thanks, Tim.
Good luck.
Okay, I'm gonna continue to jump around, if it's okay with Nicole and students. They're like, we're here. So I'd like to jump to our guest speaker for the evening, and I know that she has another commitment as well. So I'm gonna take a minute. I actually prepared my introductions. Tell me if you can't hear me, something just came on behind me. So we'd like to welcome Marie Fry, not Frey, Fry. Many of you are familiar with Hudex, and for me, it's like having a vegetable pantry down the road where I can get everything from Boucher blue cheese to lunchbox peppers. I'm not a pepper person, but these are wonderful. Hudex has been part of the community for decades. I certainly don't ever remember them not being there. And people go get their flowers in the spring, pumpkins in the fall, and of course the cider donuts crafted by the self-proclaimed, if anybody saw the 7 Days article, the Hudax Donut Ho.
Me,
It was,
that's not me.
no, it wasn't David, is that his name?
No, Moretti,
Moretti.
the
is
big
his name.
joker.
So we all drive by, we all pop in, but how much do we know about Hudex? And we're delighted that Marie can be here, so let us know.
So I welcome your questions because you know how sometimes you wonder, what do those people do all winter? Are they so lazy they're just hanging out in the house? You just wonder, who's running that farm? What's going on there? Why is it a mess? Because we're taking compost now. So, please ask me anything, whether it's practical or out of any curiosity. I'm happy to do my best to answer your questions. If you have not been to our farm, we have about 25 acres of produce. And one thing that's really taken off in the last probably 10 or 15 years is pick your own strawberries. That's a huge hit. During the pandemic, that was one thing people could do with their families and be outside and be safe. And it was like Woodstock at our farm. It was so crazy, it was almost out of control. But anyway, so I have been here since 1980, and Richard, my husband, grew up on the farm from the time he was 2. And so that's 1952 that the Hudak family moved to that farm, which was the Warner farm, which was part of the Warner Snack Bar legacy. And Richard's parents started a dairy farm there. And, things just kind of ended in a rough way. Somewhere in the late 60s, Richard's father grew up in Slovakia. And so that's where that name Hudak comes from. That's a Slovak name. And it was just a rough go for John Hudak to you know, stay focused on a dairy farm in a country he did not love. He was forced to come to the US as a 14-year-old boy. And, you know, his life was just a sort of an ongoing sorrow, I would say. And he eventually finally turned to alcohol as his salve, and things just, you know, kind of fell apart. So there's the sainted Virginia Hudak, my mother-in-law, trying to keep everything together and raise 5 children. And it wasn't always easy. In fact, it was quite difficult at times. I thought about that this winter when the pipes finally froze in our little farmhouse for the first time since we have lived there. And I think it was sort of a matter of course when those 5 little children were growing up in that house, because it's a very drafty old farmhouse, and you know, they probably didn't have 2 extra cents to rub together to make upgrades and stuff, which we've been lucky enough to do some of, but you know, it was a tough story for them. Anyway, on comes Richard, growing up in the days of the hippie era, and he wanted to keep that farm desperately in their family. And so he turned to growing vegetables and started out with, I don't know, maybe a few hundred tomato plants or something. And somehow I showed up. I'm not really sure how that even happened. I grew up in outside of Cleveland, Ohio, in a suburb, and complained bitterly if I ever had to weed the little flower garden outside our house. But, you know, sometimes magic happens and there's a catalyst, and so I was working at Hamlin's Garden Center for about 3 months, and that's how I met him. And he showed me the ropes, and I was very ill-equipped to do anything about what we're doing now. It was perfectly tragic and hilarious, and thank God he cared about me. But anyway, we've put our heart and soul into it all this time. So from 1980 until now, things have grown. They've grown in some sort of chaotic ways, like the parking lot is not really adapted for the number of people shopping there sometimes. And it's just the way of a small business, I think. And farms are sort of an understory in that sense, because there's never enough money, and, you know, you're sort of doing things just shooting from the hip. And so, you know, it evolves in a haphazard fashion. It's not like we had some business plan and followed it. You know, we're just not those kind of people. We're pretty relaxed about our financial ongoing, but we've managed to make the thing thrive pretty well, I would say, as far as farms go. And I think it's mostly our passion for what we do and our regard for each other that has kept it going and, you know, kept it thriving in a very small sort of way. We're not Pete's Greens, and I hate it when we compare ourselves to them, but, you know, they're seen as sort of a paradigm of this great farming operation. We're not that. I think we, you know, really, it is our drive and our vision that keeps us working, keeps us going out there. We're certainly not getting any younger, but, you know, we're not prepared to give up until we can't do it anymore. And hopefully our children, although I'm afraid they sometimes feel saddled by this, they don't want to see the farm, you know, leave the family either. So in spite of the fact that they've got different things going on, I think they're pretty committed to either finding people to take over the responsibility or shoulder some of it themselves as much as they can. And of course now there are 2 little boys growing up in the ranks, and who knows what will happen by the time they're old enough to make sense of it. So we have probably, in the course of the season, about 25 full or part-time employees. And wow. I know. It's a lot, but thank God, you know, and we have never advertised for employees, although this year we have finally talked about the potential next year for getting a couple of H-2A workers, and that would, in this region, that would mean probably people from Jamaica.
So, explain H2A.
H-2A is a federal program that brings in out-of-country workers who are fully vetted and hopefully treated very nicely. And they have to comply with different federal regulations. We, at the same time, would have a very stringent set of rules in terms of the quality of their housing, what they are paid, you know, their insurance, the availability of a vehicle, and, you know, just basic working conditions. We have always regretted thinking about that. It's a hassle, and, you know, sometimes it can't be helped. And people who have H-2A workers in larger vegetable farms or orchards have had a very good experience with that. But it just, I don't know. I just hate the thought of it. And it's been so nice to have always referred or returning employees. It's been terrific. I mean, the whole time we've been doing this, it's been that way. And I think, you know, as we see in this state, it is very expensive to live here. You have to be incredibly creative now to make it work. And so, you know, paying someone $18 an hour is certainly not a living wage. It just can't be possible. So I think, you know, that's where we are seeing the effect of a lack of interest, a lack of response to finding local people to take on this kind of work. It's hard work. I mean, think of last summer, how hot it was. My gosh, it was awful. I mean, people spent their lunch hour in the walk-in cooler. I spent a lot of money on cold drinks and ice cream and anything I could do to help people out. We put a shower out in the field, and it was pretty brutal. And I have to say, I think that that's starting to be the norm. So bringing new people in, especially kids, and keeping them, you know, happy and engaged it's a challenge. But we do have several returning kids and a lot of women who work in the stand. And then, of course, there's the donut hall, Moretti. And, you know, he's on for probably 3 days a week all season long, and thank God for him. But I don't know, time will tell. I'm hoping that we don't have to go down that road, but we might. And I'm sure it would be very rewarding. It's not that. It's just, I hate to invite, you know, scrutiny and just the sort of the tenor of the way it feels right now to have people who are not like us here. And I'm very sensitive about bringing people into that situation. So if we can avoid it, we will do everything we can. So we are starting tomatoes. We have some that are already like this big. And the party's pretty much over at my house. We're gonna be scrambling from here on out. And the season gets pretty intense by the beginning of March, and it doesn't abate until late November, early December. And it depends on the weather. I mean, last season, we just left everything. It was like the lost village of Roanoke. We walked away, and there were plants in pots and stuff that never got cleaned up because it was frozen to the ground in mid-November. But we're right in it now, and it's a 7-day-a-week, as many hours as we can handle. And oddly enough, sometimes we wish the day were longer because we haven't finished what we started in. There's such a satisfaction in doing a job and getting it done properly. But, we get tired, get grouchy, but we never lose our enthusiasm, and thank heavens for that. And they're terrific people working with us. The people in the farm stand, I can't say enough about them. They're just so dedicated. It's a good feeling. So probably about 15 years ago, Richard agreed to start a state certified composting facility. And I thought, oh, God, what is happening here? It's hard enough to keep the farm, nice the way I would like it in and of itself. But then now we're taking brush and we're taking yard waste and we're taking food scraps. And so in a perfect world, that would be wonderful. But, there's always a joker who leaves garbage, and that's kind of a huge part of the whole undertaking now, is dealing with the short-sightedness of some people. Most people are amazing, honestly, but that has been the downside of that whole venture. And it got ahead of itself in a way. The way there will be legislation, and it's a great idea, it passes, it's important, it needs to happen, but the logistics haven't quite caught up with the plan. And so we're sort of the fallout of one of those ideas. And I'm really proud of Vermont for enforcing, recycling, composting, all of that. It's so vital. We've kept reams and reams and tons of waste out of the trash stream. And I couldn't be more proud to be part of that. It's so important. And, to see people take it seriously, to see people in the dead of winter navigating our driveway with their food scraps, and, it's frozen and thawed and there's ice and we've sanded it, but it's, it's kind of a wreck. So to see that amount of dedication among the people in this community is just huge. But there's definitely the downside, and you see it when you drive by, and I keep harping on this. The prime real estate of our farm on the one side is sort of nice, and we make a huge effort in keeping it looking fairly decent. And then right across the road, it looks like Armageddon because of all the compost that's getting turned and the sifting and the waste that comes out of that. And so we are slowly moving that whole composting site down the hill out of your view. And I will be the happiest person on earth when that happens. I promised Richard I would make the most exquisite chocolate cake he's ever had in his life when that finally gets moved. And, it's just a slow process, but we're working on it. So do you have questions about what we're doing or what's going on there at all? Do you wonder what goes on behind the scenes? Yes.
Sure. What in general does your winter season look like?
We are working, I finally have to call it quits sometime in December, but we're never done cleaning up, that's forever. But, so we have that little minute between the end of December and, I don't know, like mid-February kind of, where we regroup, cook nice food. I go visit my family back in Ohio where I grew up. My mother is still alive and she's 103. So I spend a month with her. But Richard keeps going because of the composting thing. He's got to always dump those totes and wash totes and, make sure things are available for the food waste trucks that come and bring the solid waste and, you know, on and on. And he was born to work a lot, because if he's not working, you know, and he's not out cross-country skiing, he kind of gets nudgy. So he's the right guy for that job. But that's pretty much what it is. Plus, we have grandchildren now, and so, you know, they're over often, and we're always busy. But we do have that time where we can say, okay, I'll do that tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna do something else. But by mid-January, he has started seeding plants, and we don't open our greenhouses right away because it's so darn cold, but we do have kind of a grow lab down in our mechanic shop. And so that's going on. And, you know, I'm ordering all the seeds. I just finished the taxes today. It's ongoing, but it's not frantic. And that's the difference. So that's winter.
Marie,
Yes.
I know how much, and seeing Susie sitting over there and knowing Hank's work and our friend
Oh,
Sandy
gosh.
Kilburn,
Yep.
how much we all appreciate the beautiful flowers that you nurture and love for
Yeah,
the
it's about
Swanton community until they can get planted. And it's just
Yes.
been wonderful. And I don't think you've ever seen them in their boxes.
I never
gets out of the
leave
farm.
home. From like March until June, I still have the same tank of gas in my car, which probably isn't good for the engine, but I never go anywhere. And so I don't get this way. The only time I do is when I'm heading over to Route 11 to go see my family.
Yeah, yeah.
But I see pictures.
But the flowers
God.
on the bridge and so forth.
I mean, we're so
We
happy to
report
do
you.
that.
Yeah, well, it's a special.
I mean, and it
It's
means a
love.
lot because, you know, even though we're down on the other end of Swanton, this is our home. And I love what's happened with trees and beautification, the flower beds, and all the effort that people have put into art and, you know, the recreation, everything. I love it. It's so important.
Yeah.
Our older son lives in town on Greenwich Street, and so our younger son lives in Burlington, and it's so expensive. And even though he works at UVM, he's considering, you know, moving home and doing something at the farm or and, you know, our son Lex will say to him, you know what, Swanton is a really nice place to live. And so, you know, he's kind of working on him to get back here because, I mean, it is expensive anywhere in Vermont, but it's far more affordable here than in Burlington, man.
For sure. I also just want to thank you for your continued generosity, not
Oh.
just like with the beautiful flowers that you do, but last year with the donation of the lace wings to help us with the
Oh, I
aphids.
forgot about that, yeah.
And then this year, your generous donation towards the
compost.
compost
Right,
is
exactly.
it's a lot for us.
Well,
that
I mean, it
you do
means
that.
so much to us too, and I think that's part of being in a small enough community that you take accountability for what is happening. And, you know, it's so much nicer than feeling anonymous. I love this.
I want to commend you for what I call community service. I can't imagine where we would be if you and your family had stepped up on the brush issue, on the composting issue. I mean,
Yeah.
no, you don't see people rushing to the forum in our community saying, I want to do this, I'll help you out.
Right.
And you people have done that. You people
I
have
mean,
done that.
everybody's contributed though, honestly, and, you know, like I said, we'll get love notes, you know, where people write and say, this is so wonderful, thank you, or somebody sent us a check. I mean, it's enough to make you cry, but it's just so vital, and again, you know, look at all of you and everybody else who's not here, but behind the scenes doing so much. Doesn't it make you feel like you're part of something that you can call home?
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Good.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Marie? No? Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you for
welcome.
such an Yes, certainly appreciate it.
Susie, I'll be in touch.
Okay.
And I want to get those planters
Okay.
soon so that I can
Do you want
plant.
me to drop them by?
I mean, we can get them somehow. We just
I can
haven't
drop them
gotten
by.
out
It's
of
not a
our
big deal.
mail.
I can steal my husband's truck and drop them by.
If you have time.
Yeah, you got
All
it.
right, thank you. You're welcome. And let's back to my little babies.
Back to your babies.
Thanks, Marie.
You're welcome.
Okay, so going a little out of order. So we have 3 very patient youth representatives, and wondering if you want to take a few minutes to talk about who you are, and then we can talk a little bit about maybe how you can plug into this organization and answer any questions you have. Does that sound okay? Thank you, Marie.
If it's all right, I would love the opportunity to introduce them. These 3 young people here have been really the backbone to a lot of the youth empowerment that's gone on in our community. They are phenomenal peer mentors. They are role models to other young people in our community, and they continually show, I'm gonna like cry because they're my favorite people ever, but they continue to show up in ways that I've never seen young people do before. So Carter has been a peer mentor, worked with the Vermont Youth Project and the Youth Council through MVU. Julia, well, she is my daughter, has been very instrumental at helping us organize and implement our summer day camp, and has been a leader for youth entrepreneurs learning how to operate our food booth system. And Emily has spent time as a peer volunteer as well, peer mentor, and she actually runs her own nonprofit in the community called Cleats for Feet. So I'm gonna let them.
I've seen that all over social media. Yeah.
And she's starting a second nonprofit as well.
So
Are you gonna
Tell them about your.
Give it to you.
Cleats for Feet is my nonprofit business. We get sports cleats and equipment from the community, clean them up a little bit, and then we hand them back out for no cost. This is all at my house, all by myself, by the way, and I've been doing it since like 2021. It's pretty great.
Wow.
And yeah, since I was like 10 or 11 or something, I don't know. And then now me and my friend are here. Well, we're not here, but we're starting our new thing, which is the community shoe closet, and that's going to be right outside, where we're going to collect sneakers and hand them back out.
Outside here?
Yeah, it's like in the parking lot. We're going to put it in the parking lot.
It'll be a self-service shed.
So bring some, take some?
Yeah,
Wow,
we're
Emily.
hoping to start it in the spring. Actually, Bill just got back to me today saying, this is where it'll be, and thank you for doing it. So yeah, because I already met with the village trustees, as she knows, to go over the whole entire thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thanks to all 3 of you. My goodness. It's fantastic what you're doing. I love that there's an opportunity for you to do that as well. You know, I grew up here a really, really long time ago. And and these kind of opportunities weren't there. Good, bad, or indifferent, it was a different time, but what you guys are doing is very important. And so we'd invite you to come to this meeting as frequently or infrequently as you like. If you want time on the agenda to talk about what you're doing, Carter, Julia, Emily, we're certainly happy to do that, to help you showcase what you're doing, to talk about the importance of what you're doing, or if you have suggestions as far as plugging in somewhere, you know, you probably know beautification, but there's a lot going on right here at this table, and we would welcome anything you want to do.
Absolutely.
You know, just just speaking to you guys, the folks that you see around these table are people here that want you to continue to make Swanton your home. And I can speak for all of us. We would go great lengths to make sure that you guys are successful in our community. And I know I'm really grateful you're all sitting here today because I know how busy you are with school and work and just being your awesome selves. So thanks for coming to share your time with us. What a crack.
Thanks, guys. Does anybody have questions for Emily, Carter, or Julia?
Well, I think one thing that is, and it happens often, is that people like us come together with great ideas and good programs and good projects, but you're the people that are really affected by the time those good ideas and good projects come to fruition. And things in the community development world don't happen like that. It takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of vision, and the perspective that you have is so important to what comes next. So would really amplify Kirsten's invitation, if you can, when you can, in writing, in your presence. I don't know if anyone writes anymore, do they? No. And whatever it is, however it is, you want to communicate those things, taking advantage of this opportunity too. Because it's hard to look ahead when you're so engaged in the present moment. But we really appreciate what you're doing. And if you started your first thing when you were 10, we've got a lot more years of your perspective.
Thank you.
Anything else? I could sit here and talk to you guys all night, but
On some pizza.
we do have an agenda. And please stay. If you want to listen to the rest of this, you're more than welcome to. I think Nicole said Julia's your ride, so maybe it's up to Julia to decide.
To be fair, I mean, it's weird because, like, I mean, I'm here for them now, but, like, I've seen all of them, especially these two, like, grow up. And it's weird to, like, I don't know, be a part of it, but it's great to, like, have them grow up. And now I drag them around everywhere. They always come with me. They're, like, best friends. But I've known them since they were itty bitty, and it's just, like, very full circle, especially, like, doing all the work at the rec department and like volunteering and stuff like that. A lot of that has come full circle. Doing all the youth council stuff, like that's just really like crazy, because even when I started youth council, we started something that now these kids do, and then they just extend onto it, and it's great. So
Whoever did that piece on Vermont Public, was that you, Carter? Did you do an interview with Vermont Public? It was terrific. It was really terrific. You've got a future in broadcasting, I think.
He does have a YouTube channel, but he probably doesn't want anybody to
That's what they do at home. And we're not writing.
Yeah. Right.
Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you. Again, stay. If you need to leave, entirely up to you.
We don't stay up late, so.
I never sleep. Okay, I'm going to continue to goof around with this agenda a little bit. Let's talk to Brian and Susie?
Yeah.
Neil.
Oh, Neil. You switched. Bill told me Susie, but you.
It's okay. It's all right. We're good. We're good. We are a couple weeks, 10 days after the election, so I'm pretty sure everybody knows what's happening. But Phyllis and Brian, you want to go first, or Neil? You guys can work it out.
I know. Okay.
Thank you for having us.
I've been informed that I gotta go first, so here I go. Okay. Well, just quickly, you know, it's old news now, as Kirsten just said, but all of the elected offices, we had two contest this year. The select person for 3-year term is running for re-election with Steve Bourgeois and being challenged by Ron Underwood. Mr. Underwood won by a margin of 462 to 425. And congratulations out to him. And we wish to thank Steve for his years of service to the board. He did certainly a good job, and it's a pleasure to have him there. For the select person for 2-year term was Nicole Draper, who was an incumbent, who was challenged by Josh Ulrich, and Nicole prevailed at 529 to 370, and congratulations to her. For the rest of the offices, it was all uncontested, so they all won by smashing landslides. All of the articles passed. By healthy margins. The budgets and the big question was the local option tax that did pass 503 to 417. Now there's a process that has started. The following day I attempted to contact the Commissioner of Taxes in Montpelier, and I kept calling and found out that the tax department does not work on Wednesdays. So I sent him an email to, they're closed on Wednesdays. So I sent him an email officially informing him that the town of Swanton has adopted local option tax, what the vote was. And so then I have been in contact, the person at the tax department who's in charge of, this is going to be her account, she asked for some more information, which I sent, and she said she'll get on it. And so now we have to wait for them well, we have a 30-day rescind period that we've got to wait for anyways. All articles voted in town meeting are subject to a 30-day rescind, which is quite a process to do. It's deliberately, the statute was made so that it's, to have a rescind vote is very cumbersome. So we don't expect one, but it's always in the back of the mind. So nobody really does anything until that 30 days is expired. But she'll get the process started by notifying the merchants and whatnot what needs to be done. And then we'll be getting back to us if they need any further information or when we're actually being able to start it. We hoped that we got in quick enough because they have to do the same thing with every town that has adopted this. And so hopefully we'll be able to hit the target date to start July 1st this year.
Oh, of this
This year.
Wow, that's fantastic. And there were dozens of towns that passed local option
I think it was
taxes.
just about a dozen. I think 20 were voting for it. And
Oh,
about
was
a
it
dozen
20?
passed.
And then a dozen got it?
Yeah.
That's great.
So then, of course, the merchants all need to be notified. They have to have their point of sale terminals programmed and whatnot. So it's, but it's the big step. The first step has been taken. So we'll keep everybody advised on that. And I will mention, I mean, we had a couple of contests. We had the local option tax question. We even sent out a mailer. The select board sent out a mailer letting people know when the vote was. And, well, we had total ballots cast of 908. We have total registered voters of 4,881. So that's about an 18.6% turnout, slightly better than last year, but still pretty low. But anyhow, any questions? Try to answer them.
No one?
Mike, your turn.
Your turn.
First of all, don't believe everything you see on Facebook. Unless it's on the village and the town website, most of it is erroneous, so. But, I don't have the, count, from the village, but we, passed all our budgets, and I thank the voters for that. We had 370 voters out of
22%. We were 22%.
Yeah, okay. So it was banner turnout, but everything passed. We have a new trustee for 3 years. His name is David Roderick. Lives up on Spring Street. He has been coming to our meetings, the village meetings, for at least a couple of years since he moved here. And he was named appointed representative to the Northwest Regional Planning Commission. And he's been doing that in my absence, so he seems very community oriented, so I think he'll make a good fit for the team. Like I said, all the budget items passed. The police department had the biggest increase, but I think people have realized that the chief and his staff are doing a good jobs on multiple issues, drug enforcement, and so I thank the voters for reinforcing our confidence in the police department. We have a lot of things, the village has a lot of things going on other than what was on the item. We were supposed to start next month on the new electric building that was approved last year. And we didn't start it in the fall because everything's too late. It would cost more to run it through the winter. So contracting is going to start next month. They've already done some test borings over there. But and in addition to that, I'd like to key on the downtown. We're having 3 or 4 two new businesses and expanding a couple others. The old Rexall building, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 businesses in there. The Tipsy Daisy is going in the old hairdressers. They're going to have a new hairdresser and the left-hand side of the old Rexall building. In addition to the Vision Nutrition businesses there. And Renee Chaffee, the owner of the building, is going to have a real estate office on the right-hand side. And had a tour of it the other night, and she's really improved it in there. It's going to be a nice addition to Merchants Row. Plus, we have new owners of the Scampers building, and I've heard through the grapevine that they're going to do some work. They were doing some work in there today on the apartments upstairs. And I heard last week that we're going to rename the first section of the street to Golden Row, because all of the owners of the businesses there, the bistro, Bees on Broadway, Jeff, normally all have golden retrievers, so we're going to have a Merchants Row and a Golden Row.
That's
So,
awesome.
Anyway, those businesses seem to be doing real well, plus the businesses over, the Line Treasures over on the other, they're doing well. And we're hoping the village is online for some streetscape. We have grants for streetscapes down there in 3 different phases. One is for Merchants Row on the front with the sidewalk and handicap access. And then for the intersections, crosswalks and Grand Avenue. And the third is for Church Street, the backside of the park. But Bill was telling, the village manager was telling me this morning that the state is kind of pulling back on the reins on any of those projects. The first one is supposed to be the Merchants Row project.
Merchants Row in the intersection where, in front of the library.
Yeah.
Then Church, then Canada Street, Golden Row.
Golden Row. And we're just finishing, maybe next month, the wastewater treatment plant upgrade will be finished or open. There's been some delays on that, but it will be a good upgrade, and we'll be able to satisfy the state needs for a few years. And the water plant has been upgraded, did some painting and 2 pumps. So there's a lot going on in the village system, and I give our team credit for keeping the streets plowed. And also, another thing that jointly the community oriented here is Susie, Earl, and I and Nicole are working on a promotion for our community, both village and the town are getting together some new signs. That's the first thing on the agenda, new signs for the entries to the village. And we're gonna be talking to the merchants and see if they have any suggestions on promotion of our community. So that's an ongoing process, so.
I have a quick question. What's going into the old, is it Catel's across from Coda's?
They're turning that into an apartment.
Apartment.
Oh, so that's not gonna be commercial anymore?
3-bedroom apartment.
But, yeah, that's, unless you got any questions.
No, that's very comprehensive. It's exciting. That golden row, I saw that on social, that is horrible.
I told her she should put a calendar together. Each
I just want
dog
to play
should
with
have
all the
3 dogs.
dogs.
I was just trying to figure out which Golden Girls they were.
If I left anything else, Susie, don't.
Nah, well, I mean, obviously what's going on at the hydro,
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't gonna.
but we're working with the engineer. But we had an RFP in place. We selected the top 3 engineering companies moving towards what's a quick solution that we can put in place for now, and then move towards a solution that's going to be more permanent. And so they have a little homework they need to do, and then the board of us that comprise the selection committee is going to meet again. We'll figure out who the best person is and then present it to the board of trustees, probably in April or May.
Thank you for your work on that. That is not an easy one.
No.
There are so many moving pieces, and to have what happened happen,
Yeah.
thank you. Any questions for Neil, Brian, Susie, Joel, Nick?
Joel,
any of
Nicole,
them?
Nick.
Okay, hearing none. All right, so let's do a couple of business items. You should have received the minutes from the last meeting, January 15th.
And if not, I scattered some around. You should have them. Most of you got them electronically, I think.
If everyone's had a chance to look at them, looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 15th, 2026.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent, thank you very much. Joel, would you like to take the floor and do the financial update?
Okay, I just put 2 copies on the front table. Unrestricted balance is very close to what it was reported in January, $10,384.87. Restricted has a balance of $9,595.76. And that does not include the 2 CDs, which I'll mention at the end. So by category, bikes and signs, $3,888.95. That $3,800 that we had earmarked for the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail was not needed to do that project, so that money's back in our coffers. So we should find something good, and we may be able to help with some other signage in the town or something, but in the village. But that money's now back in that category. Capacity building, $1,477.25. Substance misuse, $1,625.61. Beautification, $1,782.45. Marble Mill, $815. That's another one. We were given that money specifically for Marble Mill. I am sure there's some things that can be done to make it better, but someone just needs to come to us and tell us what.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
And then the beautification, there are 2 CDs, one for $15,131.03. And that is for purchase of plants and trees possibly. And when that, the next time it matures, we take 2,000 out each year and put it into the beautification budget. So really for 2026, right now there's $3,782, plus they have ongoing fundraising money from the town and village that comes their way to spend for the year. and a second CD for $10,299.58, and that was earmarked more toward doing a project for an improvement in the town and village, but something that we can put a plaque on and stuff, and
To honor the vote.
to honor the Taylor
The
brothers.
Taylor brothers,
Yes. We're gonna come up with some ideas and run it by the executive committee and then bring it to the board. Any questions?
So this is a perfect segue to talk about the board. As part of our work the past couple of days, a few months, we went back into the bylaws and said, who's on the steering committee? So I made a little chart. I don't know if you all have the bylaws. You don't bring the bylaws with you. No. So we have to we should clarify some of these seats. And I should have brought a projector to so we could all see it. But according to our bylaws, the steering committee needs to be comprised of 2 for-profit representatives, 2 nonprofit representatives, 4 community at-large members, and/or the task force chairs. We're going to park that one for a second. Swanton Town Select Board, village trustees, town admin, village manager, and then this is a shall be asked to appoint representatives from Northwest Regional Planning, the Swanton Chamber, FCIDC, and the school district. So at some point, we should probably firm these up. I've started plugging names in where I think they should go. Does not mean they're right. I have Darcy, and I'll just run through them. We can talk about it, and we can finalize this. We don't need to figure this out, but I do want to make sure we're square, because the next topic, we're going to talk about micro grants, making potential, grants to individuals, nonprofits, or whatever. We'll get into that. But the steering committee is going to have a role in that as per our bylaws. So 2 for-profits. I have Darcy in 1. Nonprofit, I'm not sure who that would be. Community members at large. I have myself, Hank, and Molly. Select board, obviously Joel, Susie, trustee, Brian, Bill for their positions. Nick, I have you in the Swanton Chamber slot, and I'm just making this up. You can tell me I'm crazy or wrong.
Now it's Esther.
What?
Now it's Esther and Darcy, isn't it?
Elaine, yeah.
Or I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Elaine.
It can be.
Yeah.
See how, look at that.
So Kirsten, how many community members at large can you have?
There are 4 slots and 3 people, but let me finish this, and then we can talk about each. And we don't need to figure this out tonight. Swanton Chamber, FCIDC, so we'll ask Tim to.
We have asked him.
We will remind him that he needs to get us somebody.
And Drina will be the rep.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Great. And then we have Yeshua for the superintendents. So we do have 2 nonprofit slots to fill, 1 community at large, and the
The Arts Council.
Wouldn't Brenda go into one of the nonprofits?
She could,
Since the Abenakis are
Yep.
nonprofit.
And the Arts Council is a nonprofit.
And the Arts Council is a nonprofit.
Its own nonprofit. Its own.
Yeah.
See, this is so much easier than I thought it was gonna be. And I'll send this out so everybody can have a look at it to make sure I'm not putting you in places where you shouldn't be. So we do have this task force chair, and again, we'll cover that another time. And we need to reach out to Catherine. Dimitri, did you? I was going to do that.
And also.
Both Nick and I are representatives from the town of Swanton for the Northwest Regional Planning, if that's helpful at all.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Well, you already have, we've given you a seat,
Well,
but
I was the chamber, but then I think Elaine got the chamber. I could do the Northwest Regional Planning Commission.
Or the historical.
But
Or
you're
the
the
historical
society.
I'm the historical.
But that's not one of the steering committee.
But that's also not the problem.
I know Michelle, I was getting to Michelle too. So Elaine, we can put you in the chamber slot, put Michelle in the other for-profit with Darcy. 1L or 2? 2.
Oh, did she say yes?
I'm
That
not
was
sure.
the surprise.
I was gonna name her, so.
Yeah, see,
That's what
she's
friends are
kicking me
for.
under the table. Kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Elaine, Nick, Trina, Yeshua, Darcy, okay, starting at the top, Darcy, Michelle are for-profit. I can't read my writing. Marie and Brenda for the nonprofits.
Yeah, so if you're gonna meet on Thursdays though, I don't know that Brenda's gonna make it, so you might want a different nonprofit.
Okay.
That could be the historical society.
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be the
that could be
historical.
Marie's art.
But Nick is a nonprofit.
Put Nick there.
What's your nonprofit?
Swanton Historical Society.
Are they a standalone 501c3 or are they attached to the
No, they are.
town?
No, they're
Yes,
not
they
attached to
will be.
the town.
We're not attached to the town,
Okay, so,
but yeah, we're standalone.
No, they're standalone.
yep,
Yeah,
so
we're
you,
definitely-
if Brenda can't do
We
it,
get
Nick.
support from the town, but we're not attached.
And then Elaine. Okay. This tightens things up a little bit. I'm always fearful that someone's gonna come along and say, well, how did you make this decision? Particularly as we start talking about granting money. And we'll jump into that bigger conversation.
Do you still need a for-profit?
No,
Who's for, who's
Because
for?
you're for-profit.
we have Darcy and Michelle.
Oh, that's right, because trust is for profit. Do you have a community member? Because I was part of the original group with
We have that slot available.
I remember when we started this down in the old building with the Lamberts and the Kilburns.
Yeah.
Brian, Bill, Joel, Susie, Brian. Okay. And again, I'll send something out. We can formalize it. I had you somewhere.
Well, I
had you
was
nonprofit.
chairing the healthy.
Oh, so you're my task force
Yeah, task
person.
force person. I was nonprofit with Caring Communities, but we're dissolved, so.
Right, so you. Yes, okay. Again, I'll share this, and if anybody has any thoughts, concerns, suggestions, we can, yeah.
Kirsten, am I correct? I think we've got, SEP has to have a representative to the Northwest Regional Planning Commission, in addition to the town and villages reps.
So according to our bylaws, NRPC, Swanton Chamber, FCIDC, and the Supervisory Union shall be asked to appoint a representative. So in my mind, this is going to Catherine to see who she wants. But it,
Correct, we ask them.
and they'll
It's
say,
up to
they'll
them
probably
if they
say,
send
since
a
you're
rep.
already,
Yeah.
Because you're the rep for
I'm a
the,
board commissioner
for the
town of
planning
Swanton.
commission.
okay. And that's fine.
And we were more than, and I think Kirsten is right in trying to not have everybody serve 2 seats, because the more people we have around the table, the better.
We are.
But in the beginning, we were very happy to say, oh, well, Crystal can do a nonprofit. She could also be a community member at large. Anyway.
Okay. So this is a good start. I'm sorry it's so informal. I should have done a PowerPoint, but I also didn't want to put you to sleep. So I will recirculate that. Okay, let's jump into our partner and committee reports. Tim Smith, already done. Is there anybody here to speak for the library?
Abby had asked me to share with you all that the Swanton Public Library is, in 2026, is one of 3 communities in the state of Vermont that will be receiving the Smithsonian Spark Grant. What that means is that the Swanton Public Library will be hosting a spectacular Smithsonian traveling exhibit museum on Main Street for 6 weeks through September and October. The theme is celebrating small towns as centers of creativity and innovation. They have a lot of different ideas to go along with that and other programs that could support that exhibit. So they are hosting an informational meeting on, moment, please bear with me, March 25th. From 6 to 7 for introductions and a brainstorming session because they would like to organize a pop-up university here in Swanton that corresponds with the Smithsonian exhibit that will be traveling here.
Wow, can you talk about that piece a little bit more?
That's all the information
Okay.
they gave me, so please attend the March 25th meeting from 6 to 7 at the Swanton Public Library for more information.
Wow, that's exciting.
In addition to that,
sorry.
Abby's got all kinds of programs. She just finished Harry Potter Night, which was incredibly successful, welcoming 50 young people in to turn the library into a Hogwarts experience. If you've never been to that or seen that, they do just a phenomenal job of making that space very magical. She is working on her summer reading program, and she will be going out to the schools to get kiddos engaged in that, and she will be hosting, in addition to all of the wonderful programs she already does, summer camp as well as an option. And she just did a readers theater camp during her February break. So lots of awesome things going on at the library.
So-
She has another one in April as well, another week-long camp in April.
When kids are on break?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Swanton was one of 3 in the country?
No, in
awarded?
Vermont.
In the state.
Isn't that nice?
That's fantastic. Cool. Any questions for Nicole on the library?
I would also say if you don't get a chance to ever pop in, check out their social media because they're wonderful about posting photos. And they definitely highlighted Harry Potter Night. Both of my boys attended. It's something they look forward to every year. She has a wait list every year for children that want to attend this. So
That's fantastic. Okay, moving along. Julie, thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, of course, Yeshua would be here, but the PTO is having a glow party, and I had to Google what that was. But you know, black lights and fluorescence and dancing, and he couldn't miss that. He couldn't miss that. So I'm always happy to come and substitute for him. I wanted to highlight 2 fun things. Swanton Elementary and Highgate as well did it. I was at the Highgate game. Right before the February break, they always have a staff versus the 6th graders basketball game. Hysterical. And I was at the Highgate one. They thought I was gonna play. I cheered, but it was great. And the teachers were taking it so seriously, and they had, in Swanton, of course, they had 3 separate teams, and it was just marvelous. So they do that every year, and Yeshua, as you can imagine, was emceeing and putting it on, and they had a grand time. And speaking of basketball, I wanted to highlight the fact that MVU is one of 2 recipients of the Mona Garone Sportsmanship Award. And that is given to schools who just exhibit incredible sportsmanship, and the basketball officials in Vermont vote on the recipients. And it's really a testament not only to the coaches, but the students, the athletes, but the students and families that attend the games. Because it's really about the whole atmosphere and how folks are, not just in their home games, but also on the road. And there'll be a banner presentation, and the banner will hang in the gym. And I just, we're just so very proud of our student athletes and our school.
Wow.
So that was really wonderful.
That is good. Yes. And it was both boys and girls, right?
It doesn't differentiate. It's just for basketball.
if people aren't aware, Matt Walker is one of the coaches for our high school teams.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Man, how does he do that some nights? That's amazing.
He did stop. He's not.
Oh, he's not this year?
Not this.
Oh.
He needs a helicopter to
I think that was why. And of course, we did did unfortunately not have a positive vote on our school budget. However, we do want to welcome Siobhan Cooper, who is our new board member representative from Swanton. She was successful with a writing campaign, and we're pleased to have her. She joined us this week for our first reorganization board meeting of the year. The board is meeting next Tuesday to hopefully adopt a new revised budget. The budget is being revised with some reductions and some reallocation of some revenue. What the most positive news is about this is we already had an equalized tax rate that was going down, and with a revote, the proposed budget will go down even further. But of course, it's the common level of appraisal and the statewide spending adjustment that affects all of our local taxes. We've received new information on what's called the yield, which is the divisor for setting the tax rate, and that has everything to do with statewide spending and statewide revenue. And that number has increased, which now, for this revote, our local taxes are expected to go down. So Swanton's would go down by 1 cent. So that is good news, and we hope will help the board and the community accept, we have a lean budget already, and we do a lot with what our community is able to give us, and we're really proud of what we provide for our students in our community. We don't want to get to the point where we're not able to provide important services for our students who need them. So we feel pretty good about where we are.
As Tim was speaking, and we've talked about it, when people want to come to a community, the first thing they ask about is how are the schools?
Yeah. MVU has been on 2 top 10 lists in Vermont recently for schools. So we're just really proud of the work in all of our schools. But Swanton and MVU are really doing tremendous things. And we're on camera, but I'll still say it. Our outcomes are better than that other high school. And our kids are it's not where we want to be, but we are always improving, and our teachers are really moving the needle for our students in all of our schools. So we're excited. And next Tuesday is the board meeting. And the vote is anticipated to be April 14th.
Did you say 14th?
April 14th.
Thank you. Any questions for Julie? Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm sorry you had to miss the glow party, glow dance. See,
That's all right. I think we're both where we need to be.
Good. And thank you for what you do.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Being
Thank you.
a part of the school system is challenging, and thank you.
I wouldn't
to
do
you and
anything
your
else.
Thank you.
I'd just like to comment as a school board member that with Julie's leadership, and some of the changes we've had in leadership, I've been on the board for this my 23rd year, and the last 2 or 3 years I've really noticed a difference. It wasn't the other people did do well, but in some ways we just couldn't pull everything together. But we finally have that team that's working well together, and we'll match up with any high school in the state based on some of the recent test scores that we've seen. And I don't like test scores because some people don't test well. But if that's what the state uses and the education department, we're looking good. But we want to look better. And again, we're getting more and more students out with apprenticeships and job training. And we've got some wonderful businesses in this area, including Husky, which is not in our district.
Thank you. Anything else for Julie? Moving on to Marie and the Arts Council. Is that what you just handed out to us? Is that what you just handed out to us? Okay.
Just unpack what I passed out. A listing of informational opportunities. What I've done is by you have my voice as well. It's just some of the things that the Arts Council thinks. We have open meetings on the second Wednesday of the month at 6 art collectors too. I heard that just a few months ago. One of the things mentioned at the last meeting was our SPAN committee, which stands for Swanton Public Art Network. This is the committee that oversees the art walls in the area. They've changed since the very beginning of how they did the art walls. Now it goes to a committee and they get that set up. And there hasn't been any new ones recently, so she's quite trying to encourage anybody to put something different. You can either paint it right where it is standing, or it can be taken down and brought to the garage and done. And they have some painting supplies available. So in order to contact that community and see if your idea for a art wall is an okay one and get scheduled you in, it's the address is SPAN4Art, SPAN, the number 4ART.org for details and application. There's been some new proposals that were approved for free art grant that was received recently. One of them is the summer art camp at the library. And Abby is the one that's taking care of that. Also a monthly needle crafting class. That's also there's a mommy and me pot painting class. The owner of the Tipsy Daisy florist is going to teach mothers and children together to paint some gardening, plant. They are also sponsoring 2 mini barnacle classes taught by myself. One of the classes for senior citizens and one is for teens. They'll be held at the library. We said to mention that the winner of the Edmund Church Award has been elected, or selected rather, and it was a tie, so we'd like to have what do you call it, runoff. So that person will be announced at the next writers group, which meets at the third Thursday of the month.
So at the bottom it says that you're looking for proposals for public free art class. There's grant money. Is there a what's the deadline time frame for that?
I think it's rolling until the money's all spent.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's a deadline for that. But in order to do that, you can SwantonArtsCouncil.org, which is the place to find that information. And so they've been very successful over the years of getting grants for art. And so some of the other things going on in the art world or informational world, on Monday, March 23rd, they're having a junk journaling class. Now, I'm not really sure what that is, because the last one I attended, it was called art journaling. So I don't know what the junk means, but I'm sure it's all these little scraps of ribbon and paper and stuff. There's going to be a cooking class, I think. It says Notch, so it must be sponsored by the Notch. Squash your movie cravings. That'll be done at the library. Anastasia the musical is coming to MBU on April 9th through 11th. I already mentioned the Year Committee. On April 18th, there's going to be an upcycled art show. We did that last year, and that is art made with anything used secondhand, whereas my nephew, great nephew, would say trash. He loves to take recycled stuff and make things for them. When you're given a very nice selection, but recycles. And I got the cutest little thank you note. Dear Audrey, thank you for the trash. Let's see what else. Okay, the Missisquoi North Wildlife Refuge has an art show beginning on May 9th. Art is due on May 5th. But is anything art-like having to do with the migratory birds?
And that visitor center is open? The one on Tabor's Point, is that?
On Tabor Road, it is open.
It is, and they're looking for volunteers for the
Is that how they're?
season.
It has been sporadic.
Kevin, right? Ken put a thing on Front Porch Forum that he was looking for volunteers.
Sorry, Marie.
Sorry.
Okay, there's a monthly card making class with one of the librarians at Swanton Library. First Thursday of the month in the afternoon. The Swanton Writers Group. And a knitting circle on Mondays. You knit for charity or just for the fun of it, with Barb and friends at the library. And then on Saturdays, it's story time and related craft activities for the kids. And also the Creative Art Therapy Center has multiple art events held regularly, so see her Facebook for more info. Now, her name is Creative, spelled as usual with a heart. It's lowercase h, uppercase A-R-T. Creative Art Counseling.
LLC. It's an independent nonprofit.
She does a lot for the library.
She's an art therapist. She's a lovely human as well.
She does a free class for the seniors.
Oh, awesome. I know.
Thank you.
I think that's.
Oh, sorry. Any questions for Marie? That was a lot of information. That's great. Thank you.
That's nice.
Nicole.
Oh, that's me. It's going to be even more information. We are really excited. We had a really successful year for our hockey rink, although the warm weather killed it, so we are cleaning up and getting ready for spring. Spring athletics. We are hosting the Roadrunners track and field. We are also going to be putting on a powder puff boot camp for flag football for our MVU girls so they can condition before the powder puff season. We've got tons of camps and clinics coming your way this summer. The Brazilian soccer camp will be on site June 22nd through 26th for full days, half days, or tyke offerings. So that's our itty bitty group. We will have a 4th annual football camp. This is a collaboration between the MVU football team and the Northwest Valley Ducks, which is a multi-town team hosted at Swanton Rec, which is a lot of fun, and that program grows from grade 1 to grade 8. Vermont Voltage Soccer Camp will be back July 13th through 17th with both full and half-day offerings. We have been cleaning up and sorting out around the rec department because we've got some redevelopment things going on. We've been working on turning our mixed-use community space into a teen center, using our teen advisors on creating a space that they feel safe, welcoming. We will be doing a grand opening in April. We hope everybody can come out and check it out and meet more local young people that are engaged and excited to be part of our community. In addition to that, I am taking 2 teams of students, one from Swanton Elementary and one from MVU, to Junior Iron Chef at the Champlain Valley Expo Center this weekend. Each team is competing against other teams across the state, and I am so excited and so proud because they are scratch cooking recipes of their own creation. In the last 2 weeks, we've done a dry run, and my money's on the Swanton Elementary School team. They really are working well, but we'll see how that goes. We are hosting February break, April break, in-service day camps, as well as summer vacation camps. In the last 5 years of offering safe sitter courses, I have 105 trained and certified babysitters in Franklin County, which I think is really fun and exciting. It was a number I came up with. We are bringing itty bitty soaring sports with our new program facilitator, Mary Cheney. We've done Valentine's Day cookie decorating, St. Patrick's Day cookie decorating, and coming up she's going to be offering a photography 101 for older youth and adults, so if you're interested with that. We also help facilitate registrations for Northern Vermont Field Hockey's camp, which does great support for our field hockey athletes up at MVU, but they're hosting a camp up at J-Peak. So if you know any field hockey players that want to be involved, you can register on our website. We are still 2 years deep with the Franklin County Youth Paranormal Group, which is a group of young people that are really interested not only in history, but in all the spooky places, and we are going on a investigation next Thursday of our public library. I'm not going to tell you if it's haunted or not. We are bringing back tennis in the park this summer, so if you are a tennis player or you are interested in learning about tennis, registrations will be open in 2 weeks to play tennis down at Marble Mill. Trustee Kelleher and I have been working on a Parks and Recreation plan for all of our community to make sure that our recreational assets are being maintained and utilized to the best of their abilities so they can remain wonderful places for everybody in the park. We are very excited at Swanton Rec to be welcoming back an MVSD summer intern with our after-school program. We are looking to start a youth gardening club. If you didn't get a chance to see it last year, we moved our community gardens up a little bit into the forefront, and there are plots there available for community members to garden. And we're looking at hosting some gardening events or some social events there throughout the year. With our partners, our community partners, Abby, and from the library and the Chamber of Commerce, we will be taking over Easter in the Park this year, and so it won't be in the Village Green. We're going to do it at the Rec Center because we've got big ideas to explode that event a little bit more to make it last more than 5 minutes, so we're excited about that. In addition to all of the other fun things, we are working on a grand opening ceremony for the Lamoille Valley Trailhead. Hopefully that's going to be in the late May timeframe. We're working on an exact date, and I'll make sure that that's posted as soon as possible. Some other great events that you want to put on your calendar and not to miss: the Heritage Festival with the Abenaki of the Missisquoi will be at the Swanton Recreation Facility May 22nd through 24th. We are working on expanding our community yard sale, which we will hold on the 30th of May, but that will turn into what's called the Swanton Flea. So if you live on a outskirt of town, or if you have an interesting collection you'd like to bring to the light, or you have fun things to sell, we're going to welcome you on the Village Green. We'll also have live music and make that a fun community event. If you have a young person from the age of 13 to 15 that is interested in building leadership skills, we are offering our counselor and training program again this year. We'll be hosting camp for 6 weeks, but we'll have 8 weeks for our counselors in training to make sure that they get all of their leadership skills so they can be the next young people here in this seat. We are also working on the Swanton Block Party. We will have a fabulous band of Nighthawk. That will be on the 24th of July from 5 to 7. 5 to 7. See, that's why we need to sit across from each other. National Night Out will be August 4th, 6 to 8. 6 to 8. They will be welcoming Heavy Pour. Halloween in the Park will be 10/24 from 5 to 6. We're going to get all of these great events on the community calendar on our website, but you can always find them at the rec department. Call me at the rec department. See me in the grocery store. Chase me down. I'm always somewhere.
We're going to come back to you for Promote Swanton.
Yep. The last thing I have is if anybody knows anybody who's a fitness instructor that's interested in hosting a fitness class, I have an outpouring of adults looking to be fit in the community, so we're looking to fill that gap.
I'd ask if there were any questions for Nicole, but I'm pretty sure she covered everything.
I got more, no, I'm just kidding.
We'll come back to you in a sec.
Okay.
Nick, Historical Society.
Sure, we held our first meeting after a winter break, basically, last week, Wednesday. I sadly wasn't able to attend, but Jay Barney was, and
Oh, good.
yeah, he's able. It's good to see him back. Other than that, when I actually talked to Jay Barney yesterday, the big thing he wanted me to mention is that the Depot Museum will be opening up in either late April, early May, depending on weather and volunteers. And there has been some work done on the bank building when it comes to plumbing, Heather Lavoie's husband. And other than that, hopefully there'll be some programming, now that we're getting going again, there'll be some programming coming up soon.
Any questions for Nick about the Historical Society? Excellent, thank you. Beautification.
Okay, I'll be quick, I promise. So we had a meeting, we discussed what we were gonna do for planting. So we have Green Up Day on May 12th. The following Saturday, we're gonna be prepping the pots. The following Saturday after that, we're gonna be planting. So we're busy first 3 weeks of May. We're still doing our Flower to Flower fundraisers. If you want some bread, bagels, everything.
Hot cross buns.
Yeah, let me know. And you're gonna pick them up on April 4th at Bees on Broadway. And we have the opportunity to work with a class from Missisquoi that's learning about flowers and weeds and care. So they're going to be coming and meeting with me in June, and we're going to be moving some plantings around at the library garden. So I just want to let you guys know about that. That's it.
Great. Susie, when is planting day?
Hold on, I gotta look at my calendar. I can't just riff it at you, Molly.
Okay. Because the spears.
The 16th is planting day, the 9th is pot prep, the 2nd is green up day.
Right.
Yeah, you said.
Yep, May.
May 2nd is green up.
May 2nd is green up, May 9th is pot prep,
Yeah.
and May 16th is actual planting. Yes, we plan on being at the Village Green at 8:30.
It's gonna be a warm May.
I hope
apparently.
so. Oh, and also we've had 3 interested parties in our RFP for watering.
Excellent.
So we will open those bids on the 5th of April, and the committee is Darcy, myself, and Amanda Laterna.
Thank you. Go ahead, Molly. Go ahead.
I heard something interesting,
Repeat that.
and someone contacted me and said that the SCP Beautification Committee showed up as an option in their donor advised plan. And I wonder how that happened. It's in some financial management person has SCP Beautification showing up in their donor advised plan, which is a pretty nice place to be.
It is.
Sarah might have had something to do with that a couple
Cozy?
years ago.
Sarah Foisey?
Yeah.
Highly interesting. Well,
So I
I know
remember
you're,
her telling me once I was gonna get a check, and we did, and but it came from one of these places that.
you're gonna get another check, because I know that they chose that as an option.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
Anything else? You good? Thank you. Okay, back to promote Swanton. And we do want to have a conversation about this mini grant, so I'd ask that maybe we keep these last couple of updates.
Swanton School, come here and play.
Yeah, we don't have anything. We're meeting Friday, so we'll just update you next time.
Excuse me. Chamber update.
We've only met a few times the past few months. We've had a little bit of scheduling conflicts. As Nicole mentioned, we have been working with the rec department and the library to help us with our events throughout the year because we have been struggling trying to get help. We are still in a place where we're trying to figure out what our future looks like. Our numbers are small, people are aging out, we're not getting the hands, and the needs of what the chamber used to provide are not things that businesses need today. So we're just trying to figure out what our future might look like.
Is it still membership based, paying?
It is membership based.
Paying for membership?
You know, several years ago, the state took away one of the biggest benefits, which was when we offered insurance.
The insurance, yeah.
You know, it used to be, we offer, advertising all these things, but, social media is here to stay, so businesses are doing their own thing, which is great. So it's just like, things have changed over time, and we don't have paid employees, and, we all work. Even the Franklin County Chamber is struggling right now. They do have paid employees. Typically, in talking to some business owners, what they really, really want is somebody who can lobby for them down in Montpelier. We can't be doing that. So it's like, what does the future of the chamber look like? We don't know.
Well, it's good that you're doing that, and, as opportunities come up to partner and collaborate, and the car show is your big fundraiser.
And the car show is our biggest fundraiser. That is happening the last weekend in July.
Wow, it's gonna be a busy summer.
See, Nicole knows the date. She has all the dates.
And the 26th. And the 26th. It's a 2-dayer. 25th and 26th of July.
2-day event, car show?
Yeah.
No, it's one day. The second day is the rain date.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 2.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Still, okay. Any questions for Elaine, our newly appointed person to the steering committee? No, she's like, no way. Okay, so changing gears a little bit. Wanted to talk to, and if you want to pass these around. Molly, Joel, and I met and Hank the other day to talk about, I don't want to say there are extra funds that are available, but there's funding available from SEP. It's not going to be a huge amount of money, but looking at ways to deploy these funds into the community. We're not talking tons of money. We're talking about maybe grants of $250, and you guys jump in at any point, to maybe $500. And we talked about just generally what these monies could be used for. And sort of the overarching underlying, if you're all looking at it now, we can start at the top. Looking for community-based projects that strengthen Swanton as a place where people want to live, work, and play. And I think this dovetails nicely into a lot of what Tim was talking about earlier. Looking at maybe $3,000 to put out the door, a series of small grants. Talking about eligible applicants, nonprofits, for-profits, other organizations, and we're presenting this tonight just to get the wheels turning a little bit and looking for some feedback from the steering committee and others. This is the first time we will have done something like this. I want to make sure we're doing it right. What you're looking at is just a draft we put together on a draft application, which I took bits and pieces from other grant programs that I've been involved in. So we want to keep it as simple as possible. We want it to be meaningful, obviously. We want to talk about a match requirement. I think it's important to have skin in the game, no matter if it's $200,000 or if it's $200. It would be available to all of Swanton. It's not just downtown, it's not just the village. So those are really the only guardrails that we've come up with at this point. We haven't talked about a time frame, we haven't talked about deadlines, and we'll let you look at that just for a second.
Yeah, and you wanted to, the paragraph in the bylaws that
The matches up to the,
illustrates.
yeah, so we do, and that's part of the reason we went back to the bylaws to see what we can and can't do, who the steering committee is, and we just took language out of the bylaws that The primary objective of the corporation of SAP shall be to conduct civic activities and implement projects dedicated to furthering a vibrant community. Community, not a community. So didn't want to make it much more specific than that. I think this is where folks' creativity can, run wild. Once we get some additional feedback, we're not going to roll this out tomorrow. We can put something together that I think would be pretty interesting. And if it works, maybe we try it again. So, any initial reactions? Anybody thinking, "Hey, Bourgeois, this is a crazy idea"?
No, I think this is a great idea.
Would you be willing to entertain a youth applicant for a community service project?
This is the kind of feedback we want. Send us your thoughts, send us your emails. Nothing is off the table at this point. So if we are gonna put a deadline, so today is March 12th?
Yep.
So maybe by
The May
next
meeting.
Friday,
Oh,
so 13th, was it March 20th? If you wanna send any ideas and comments, that gives us time to sort of sift through them, so we come back in May with something a little more concrete based on feedback. Have a look at it, tell us what you think. We're happy to.
and the point, of course, and this is kind of a springing from Joel's comment at the end of the last meeting, when he talked about signage for a business. And then we spoke about, well, let's figure that out. We have funds that are donated by generous people in the town and the village, and our goal is to add to the vibrancy of the community. And we do have the authorization, the authority to
Yep,
grant.
within the bylaws, yep.
Yeah, and small grants, never the last dollar. Or never the first dollar, usually the last dollar. But, it's just a way of helping people feel connected and inspired to focus on community vibrancy when they're doing a project.
And as everybody, we're giving their updates, I was thinking, okay, there's great things happening on Merchants Row. There's gonna be a lot of change for a lot, it's gonna look a little different than maybe it has been. Where's the opportunity there for maybe these funds to plug in? The students that you brought, where could we plug in and support them? Is it Emily with Cleats for Feet, and now her sneaker exchange? I mean, there's just so many good things going on, and if we have the funds, I think supporting, where we can. And again, we'll put some guardrails around it as far as match and outcomes, and we want to see what the ultimate benefit is going to be.
And it's
And
a
we-
small amount of money.
It is a small,
Yeah,
we're not
and we
talking.
try it for 2026, after we get some feedback, and then we can adjust it for 2027.
Yeah.
It's always remarkable what people come up with. We have a community member who donated money for something like this for students, just a small little mini grant, but it has to be some creative thing that they want to do for the school or the community, and they come up with the most amazing ideas.
Yeah.
And so you can't even think of what an Emily or somebody is going to
Oh, I got stacks of ideas that
Right?
kids give me every week.
So I think it's wonderful.
We could have a glow party. I'm all intrigued by that now. Or a glow dance or whatever. I feel so old.
Move the tables out of the way.
I was gonna
Is
say,
that
I wanna
right?
bring a black light to the
Right.
next meeting.
I'm thinking a disco ball, but that's anyway. Any immediate reactions?
So, Kirsten, are you three gonna be the committee to make the decisions on this, or
The
who's
steering,
gonna
right, that's why you
It's
mentioned
up to the steering
collect
committee.
the information?
But there would be a review and then a recommend. I don't think you'd have 20 people going through each application, but we
I
haven't
mean,
talked
do we
about
have to designate somebody to take care of it, or is the whole membership?
Like a
gonna decide?
subcommittee?
Yeah, let's look at, and if that's something to come back to us with. I mean, it can be project suggestions and it could be structure suggestions, because that's what we need. No, you're right, having 20 people look at these is not, I mean, we're money here. And I thought there was something in the bylaws, I'm not gonna look for it here, but yes, there will be a group of people. And it shouldn't be just the executive committee. No, pretty quiet.
They're creative.
They are creative. Anyway, you know how to get in touch with one or all of us. Send your suggestions.
What'd you say, by March what?
20th, so that's a week from tomorrow.
So is this program active as of tonight?
Nope.
And I should.
Look at him, he wants to make decisions, he wants the money.
We're gonna get the feedback on the 20th to adjust.
Yeah, this is
Just the program and then put out, this is the program and here's the dates
Yeah.
we want stuff by, and so.
I got a bucket full of suggestions like Nicole asked.
Put that bucket in an email and.
Well, you'd have to fill out an application.
And if you think, there should be four broad categories, if you think that it should be nonprofit versus, come back to us. This has to be, we need to do this as a group. We shouldn't be making these decisions in a vacuum, and I think it's an exciting, I mean, it's Joel's idea.
I think it's an exciting opportunity for the community.
Very much so.
Yeah. Should I send this? I should send this little document out.
You want
there
that
are
via
people on the steering committee who are obviously not here right now, so I should send it out with a little note saying if you have any feedback on this, I will send
And then why don't we do one email to the steering committee so we can let those who we put on the steering committee know that don't, I can send out this as well. So we can do this all at once to avoid multiple emails. Well, thank you. If there are no questions on this, again, just chew on it a little bit. You're not getting the money tonight. Let's go back to the agenda. I think it was just public comment that was left. I'm trying to stay as close to schedule as possible. Do you have your agenda handy? Mm-hmm. Did I skip anybody?
No.
We talked about the micro grants. Public comment? Has anybody?
The Northwest Regional Plan final draft is coming out March 25th. Will be a public hearing. If you haven't had an opportunity to read over it, it's a very riveting document about planning for Franklin County or the Northwest Corridor. I enjoyed it. I encourage you all to take a look. Let me know if you have any suggestions or comments or areas that you think are important to Swanton.
When is the public hearing?
The final public hearing is March 25th. 6 to 7.
There
Information's
is
on
something else, the Smithsonian pop-up public meeting.
This one's on Zoom, so you could probably be in two places at once.
I'm sure you are on 6 public meetings at once, I bet.
I got multi-screens.
I just, it's amazing.
Anything else?
I have a question.
Sure.
The Arts Council is looking into finding a fundraising platform to give us operating expenses, because we're getting grants for art things. But like we wanted to change, right now we have something monkey, like it's for sending out MailChimp, and that's raising their prices, so we're looking for something else to do it. But we've been told about an organization, Give Butter.
Yep.
You're aware of it?
I am. I've never used it.
Okay.
Somebody in the city of St. Albans, maybe, what's the Kingman, the block party, they may.
Kingman Street?
Yes.
I know the Franklin County Senior Center uses it. I spoke to the woman there.
They do. We use it at our church. Yeah.
Have good things to say about it?
Yeah, because you can set it up, so you can set up like different buckets, so if you want money, if you're raising money for different things, you can have different buckets on there with different QR codes, so people can donate to something specific or general. You can get all kinds of reports out of it for your bookkeeping. And then there's fees associated with that, but most people, they have the option, when they go to put the money in, they can pay the fee themselves, not have it deducted from what they're giving you. So they have the option that way, so you're not necessarily paying for each donation that's going through.
The chicken, this is gonna sound crazy. The chicken auction that the St. Albans group did,
Yeah.
they used Give Butter. So Donna might know from,
Or Arlie.
or Arlie,
Yeah.
Okay.
from the, what's the place in St. Albans? The Artist Guild.
Okay.
I
Oh,
think you-
Donna, yeah. Okay, they might know, yeah. Good, thank you. We just wanted to
I can-
know this first.
You know Donna.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you for staying on task, or staying on time. I know I try to push a little bit. Anything else? Grab some pizza? Go home. Thank you. Oh, and we'll see you, May 10th. May 14th.
May 14th.
You'll hear from us before then.